within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Yeah, we just kind of take it day by day through the week. You'll see the injury reports. It's really all those guys. I mean, we could sit here and you could ask me about every single guy, and it's a fairly long list. You know, who's got time for that? So you'll see who practices and who didn't, and you know, maybe working our way through the week with guys. You'll see guys back tomorrow, see guys back Friday, see guys back Sunday. You know, we'll get as many guys back as we can, but we're also preparing for not having some guys back, and that's what we'll prepare for, and we'll be ready to go and play our best game of the year.
John, do you think Lamar was
Okay.
at one?
Okay. 14 players on the injury report yesterday for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, I mean, it could have been 15.
It could have been. That's a good point. It could have been more. And somehow it was actually worse than we expected it to be. Like, the guys that we thought were going to be not practicing yesterday, Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey, yeah, sure, that makes sense. I guess maybe there was some hope that, like, Pat Ricard might be back to practice since he's already missed 4 weeks and you didn't put him on the IR to start the season, but not the case. Nate Wiggins, we didn't know definitively, but, yeah, definitively he was out. And Ronnie Stanley, we didn't know definitively. Ronnie Stanley was out. Lamar Jackson, we thought we knew definitively, but then that was clouded by some things that Ian Rappaport said yesterday. But, yeah, Lamar Jackson's not practicing. And then out of nowhere, add to the list, Chidobe Awuzie with a hamstring issue. Cool, because
Someone hunting hamstrings, maybe?
They have plenty of cornerbacks. It's not like Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey are going to be out, so... Tez Walker.
And what has he done?
Sure. Tez Walker not practicing due to an oblique injury. Sure. Why not? Somehow, what we expected to be like the most disastrous.
I didn't even see Tyler Linderbaum popped up there.
Yeah, but he practiced. So
yeah.
I'm not even paying attention to that. If they practiced,
it means they're healthy.
100%.
Kyle Hamilton.
Somehow what we expected to be the worst injury report maybe we've ever seen in Ravens history somehow was worse. Hey, but other than that, it's good time. We're having fun. We're having fun here. Who's not having fun? It's time to start having fun now. I said it was fun time. Get to it. Get to the fun. Good morning. It's Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin. Coming up on the program today, Evan Washburn. He'll be on the sideline for Ravens-Texans on Sunday on CBS. We'll continue to reflect on 30 seasons of Ravens football. We're doing this every week, catching up with a member of the inaugural team. Rob Burnett will join us a little bit later on. And also this morning we will make picks. I hope, I guess if you're fasting, you're probably not with us right now. So I was going to say I hope everybody's having a peaceful fast, but I don't think those people are able to hear that. Maybe if you listen to this later or watch this later,
which we know everyone does,
then I hope you had a peaceful and meaningful fast. But that's what KZ's doing today, so Jeremy Conn is going to take his place for picks. That's all coming up on the program today. Today's show is brought to you by Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, Frederick, and Columbia. As you know, my life has been improved because I started seeing the folks at Game Day Men's Health. Thought there was a chance I was low T. Turns out, lots of tea. Significant amounts of tea. Spilling tea. So why is it that I still feel so sluggish and run down? Well, they had the idea that I should be on peptide proteins. And I said, I don't know what that means. They explained it to me. They explained how easy it was. I take the peptide, I put it right there in the gum, and it dissolves quite naturally at night. And it has given me the lift I've needed. I mean, it really has been a difference maker for me, significantly. And so I've been appreciative of Game Day Men's Health. And I think whether you're dealing with feeling sluggish and run that, you might genuinely be low T. And you can get a complimentary testosterone test. You don't have to pay a cent for that. Just get the answer. Find out. And then go from there. Maybe you're dealing with erectile dysfunction issues. Performance in the bedroom is a problem. Perhaps you're dealing with, I don't know, there are lots of other issues that you could be dealing with. You could be dealing with just stubborn belly fat that won't come off. They've got you covered. Give them a call in Owings Mills, 443-264-4454. In Columbia, 443-266-3505. In Frederick, 240-931-3717. I have nothing to add to what the Ravens are dealing with. It is the proverbial what it is. They're going to line up some guys on Sunday. They're hopefully going to give Derrick Henry the football. I saw a video that Dan Orlovsky made this morning where he was like, what? What? They're 32nd and giving the ball to the running back on first and second down. What?
Well, their running back must be bad or something.
Must be
right?
terrible.
Yeah. Oh, it's Derrick Henry.
I mean, it's kind of boring, but there's not a whole lot else to be said. They're going to have to reestablish the run game. And you would like to hope that between John Harbaugh's fairly public rebuke of Todd Monken and his play calling and the reality of likely starting Cooper Rush and half of your defense missing and really not being that good to begin with, you would like to hope that that combination of factors is enough for everyone involved to say, we know what we have to do. We know what this has to look like. There was an oddity yesterday where, like a couple times, John Harbaugh was asked about Cooper Rush, and he went out of his way to also mention Tyler Huntley as if he was trying to play some sort of mind game with the Houston Texans. Like, maybe it's not Cooper Rush, which would, of course, be kind of insane. Which isn't to say that, like, I think Cooper Rush is dramatically better than Tyler Huntley. And, of course, there would be people that would make the argument, hey, you know, Tyler Huntley, it's the same that we always say. His skill set is a little bit more similar to Lamar's. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, just
if
like
Lamar couldn't throw the ball. Like, this eternal argument of, like, are you better as a team if you can try to keep as much of the packages the same? Well, how many designed runs have we been seeing for Lamar? And it's not none. Like, I'm not trying to pretend like it's zero, but that hasn't really been the offense. So 5 years ago, in 2019, that offense that the Ravens were running, you can make a serious argument that you were just better off having the backup quarterback and the guy that goes into play be someone that, you know, has a skill set closer to what they were doing. And we could argue about whether or not they should be doing more of that, but they haven't been. So there's no debate to me about who the backup quarterback should be. None. Now, if Cooper Rush is going to keep throwing the ball, if they play a game and they decide to go for it on fourth down, and Cooper Rush throws the ball away on fourth down again, then we might have to have a conversation at some point about who Cooper Rush is. But there's enough there. He's accomplished enough in the 14 starts that he's made as an NFL quarterback, 9 of which he's won, that I'm willing to give him some benefit of the doubt that was not what we're going to continue to see. That was a one-time thing where he just insanely threw the football away on 4th down, despite the fact that, like, there aren't any more downs. You're not living to fight for another play. So, yeah, I guess, is there a point where, like, it's so bad with Cooper Rush that you want to try something else? I guess, but I can't believe that there would be any thought that you would do anything other than play Cooper Rush. You paid him to be the backup quarterback for a reason, and so he's, to me, it's indisputable. I get it. John Harbaugh eternally is like just can't turn football coach off, and football coach brain says try to get an edge no matter what. Just make him think about it. Make him think about whether or not. But I don't read into it. Is it possible there's a Tyler Huntley package? Right? Like, this is the original Lamar Jackson thing where you want to have him on the field to screw with. I guess, but
I would vote for 45 handoffs to Derrick Henry.
that's what I think that the offense. I mean, I 45 probably not, but
I think he can handle it.
Probably not. Probably not 45. But yes, I would say that would be my priority for this week is running the football. And again, I think Cooper Rush is a capable thrower of the football. I don't think he's a high-level thrower of the football, but I think he's a capable thrower of the football, which unfortunately I don't feel about Tyler Huntley. I do not feel like Tyler Huntley is a capable thrower of the football at the NFL level. I mean, again, he's better than you or I.
Is
Well, me, maybe not better than Griffin. He's better than I am. But I don't think
You're a big man to admit that. Yeah.
Look, man, slightly better than I. But given what you need from an NFL passer, Tyler Huntley's not that, which is kind of why the Ravens moved on from him to begin with, because they knew that. And so, no, there's no scenario where I'm signing up for Tyler Huntley being the quarterback. I don't really want to sign up for Cooper Rush, but in this, I don't think you have much of a choice.
Would you have signed up for Shador?
No.
You're supposed to go.
No, right, because he was miming. That's right.
I like it. I like
Whatever,
this game.
man. I don't care. I really don't care. This is the nice part. I get it. He could have been a Raven, but I don't have to care about this. And so you can't get me to. So it's like Ben McDonald with hockey, baby. You're just not going to be able to get me to care. So I don't care that I work for ESPN. He only barely works for ESPN. I don't care. I don't
college
care.
baseball too, so.
I know, but even that, I don't care. I'm sorry. You can't get me to. Poor Ben. Go ahead. You can play it. I don't care. You can.
No.
Oh, you weren't prepared? I thought you had it.
I'll have it.
It's my fault. I thought you had it. You were talking about it before the show. There you go. This is yesterday. Ben and Kevin Brown doing a buddy cop picture as they're out working the Cubs-Padres game on ABC. To be fair, not on ESPN, on ABC. And they were doing the promo, and Ben had some thoughts.
And the Blackhawks return to the ice next Tuesday, NHL opening night against the defending champion Florida Panthers at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on ESPN. Triple header that night, Penguins, Rangers, Avalanche, Kings. Ben, I know you got an opinion on this. Panthers three-peat this year. What do you think?
If you say so. I mean, good luck to them. Are you asking me if I'm going to be watching?
No, no, you'll be watching, of course, because you work for ESPN. You'll be watching Friday night.
There is zero chance I'll be watching. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Where will you be?
I will be somewhere, but there's zero chance I'll be watching.
All right, thanks, Ben. We'll be watching. Thanks for the rating.
There you go. The hockey people were not thrilled about that. I saw John Butchie Gross taking shots at Ben McDonald. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. I don't know how anyone could possibly get all that worked up about this, but it was funny. It was funny, and those of us that know Ben, that's about right. That's about right. If he doesn't watch it, you're just not gonna. And I think Kevin knew exactly what he was doing too, because Kevin knew that Ben has no interest in the ice hockey, and so he was.
He would have done the same thing if it was soccer or whatever.
100%. Anything that he's the exact same reaction. Not college football. He does watch lots of college football. If they were promoting college football, he would engage in the conversation. All right. Ravens-Texans coming up Sunday here in Baltimore. And our next guest, criminal, because I had been told that he would be on the screen. And actually, maybe it better because I would probably just be staring into his eyes. It might be better that he's only on the phone, but it's a loss for everybody watching at home. Joining us now. He'll be working the sideline on Sunday. He is our friend, Mr. Evan Washburn, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Evan, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Sorry to disappoint, but my dogs took priority. Getting a dog walk in here before I get out.
Where do you go?
Where
do you go when you walk the dogs, Evan?
Well, I live in Roland Park, so I
Yeah.
just walk around the neighborhood.
Oh, just in the
and,
neighborhood. All
that
right.
takes care of a lot of hills, so you don't actually have to cover that much distance to tire them out.
How long have you lived in Roland Park?
Oh wow! I think was my son's 9, like 8-ish years.
Okay.
8 years.
All right.
That range.
All right.
Yeah.
What is your go-to neighborhood? Like, are you Alonzo's? Are you what's the go-to for you?
Ooh, good question. I have not hit Alonzo's up. I mean, I like the bagel spot there. My
Okay.
son loves Miss Shirley's.
I mean, who doesn't like?
If I'm going,
your
yeah,
son
if
loves
I'm
Miss
going nice.
Shirley's. Who doesn't love Miss Shirley's? For God's sakes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's a great spot. If you want to get a nice meal in, I love Petit Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are probably the spots. And then you can't go wrong with Eddie's for pretty much anything you might need.
Don't disagree with any of those things at all. All right. Things are a little bit different than when you and I talked in the preseason, Evan.
No, it's all the same guys playing.
Yeah. God, you're right about that part. You are right about that part. I like, it's a weird conversation to have because I feel like right now what the Ravens are dealing with is like all of this is real and they are depleted and they are beat up. And yet, because of their record, these next 2 weeks are still extremely important for them. Certainly not to lose both of these games, to somehow figure out a way to at least win one of these 2 games, which seems like a very difficult thing to do given, to your point, they're putting out there on the defensive side of maybe a week 2 preseason defense and probably Cooper Rush at quarterback, but they're going to have to figure out a way to at least win one of these games to sort of keep this thing afloat to allow themselves a chance to get their guys back.
All well said. And I've tried to wrap my head around just all the ways to approach this. Obviously, our crew's got the game this Sunday. Still a lot up in the air in terms of lineups, all those things. But the one thing I keep coming back to is not to say it's a positive, but if you're trying to find some sort of like silver lining, they have so much kind of swirling around them right now. At least at this point, they can just sort of bury their head in the fact that like we have to come up with some sort of game plan on either side of the ball that these players, these being mostly backups, especially on the defensive side, can execute and can play fast. We'll deal with all the like big picture issues we may have and what's going on here or there, but like the singular focus on, all right, this is who's available, this is what they do well, and this is what we're going to try and do to beat the Texans. And like we'll kick the can down the road on like what's happening with our defense when we have all our star players and what's going on with the lack of a run game in some critical moments. Like put all that to the side. Like let's just, so maybe some, you know what I mean? Like sometimes there's so many problems. If you can just focus on the biggest one and then not worry about the other stuff until you have to.
Well, it feels like, Evan, that you sort of answer what that is and what you just said, which is I would think the best way to go about addressing the likelihood of playing a backup quarterback and a depleted and frankly not all that good even when they were more healthy defense is run the hell out of the ball on Sunday. And I get that that's what the Texans are going to be expecting and they're going to stuff the box, but this really does feel like the type of challenge that you need. Hey, they know what's coming. We've still got to figure out a way to be better at it. And we do have what should be the trump card in the presence of Derrick Henry to try to be better at it.
Yeah, this is one of those I was talking to somebody where it's like you plug in old school Titans Thursday night film where they're playing the Jags and everybody knows Derrick Henry's getting the ball 35 times. And, yeah, they stop him for the first 2.5, 3 quarters, and then they just get tired of getting hit by him at 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden he busts one for 80. Like that's to me kind of the stubborn version that could be a reasonable option going into this game.
I mean, I feel like it's. I don't want to say it's the only option because I do think Cooper Rush is a capable thrower of the football, and I think you're going to need that. But it just feels like it's the best option for trying to win this game. Evan, you know this team better than you know most teams. Not to say you don't know the other teams around the NFL. You do them plenty. But this is, I think, the one you know the best. What did you make of – there was a lot of hubbub about, after the body language of this team during the Chiefs game and how defeated they appeared to be on the sideline and who was and wasn't talking after the game. There was a lot made about that, and – I am, for as critical as I can be at times, I would be defensive of it sucks to lose. And I am a bit more, I give a bit more grace in those situations because I don't think anyone is having fun and it's miserable when you're going through that. But I don't know that it's a reflection of guys have given up or they've quit as much as in the moment when you're going through it, it just sucks to be experiencing that.
Yeah, very few elite competitors handle losing well. I do think, and part of it I think was in response to what he said earlier in the week, Kyle Hamilton did it about as well as you can at the podium. My perception from the outside, and having not been with this team since the preseason, is that they are so primed and ready for the postseason and to exercise all of the demons that have followed them in these big moments in divisional rounds or an AFC championship game, that not that they want to just rush through the regular season, but there's this sense that, like, we just got to get through it. And this is about as bad a way to start that season. So you couple that, and that's what leads to immense frustration. And then the reality of injury. And I think for players like Marlon or Roquan, obviously Lamar, like, these are guys that are 8, 9, 10 years into the league. They know what they're ahead. They've got to deal with now this thing for the next, whatever it ends up being, 14, 15 weeks. Like, that's a lot to take on as someone who's still in their mid to late 20s. Like, right. I think sometimes we forget the human aspect of all this. That said, I do think the best teams, whether it's the Kansas Cities of the last, 3 to 6 years, or New England for all those years, they handled these moments better than the other, call it 31 teams. Like, I think that's the underrated version of greatness when it comes to an organization or team is, what do you do when it is clear that everything is stacked against you? And we've seen it even in Baltimore. I mean, there's been moments where they've handled these spots well. So there is some experience, at least from a staff standpoint, led by John Harbaugh, where they can try and navigate this. But I think that kind of speaks to what you saw on the screen or in the locker room if you were covering that game.
Evan Washburn with us here on GCR. Evan, I want to go back to Cooper Rush for a second. Obviously, you were around him in the preseason. I don't know if you've ever done any of the games that he played with the Cowboys over the years.
Did not, no.
Okay. I think most of us have the opinion that Cooper Rush was an upgrade over what the Ravens had been doing at backup quarterback, given the fact that he won 4 games a year ago. He won, 4 games before that. When he's been pressed into service, I don't want to oversell that and suggest that, like, Cooper Rush is one of the top 25 quarterbacks in the NFL. What do you think the Ravens have in Cooper Rush? Clearly, he has a different skill set than Lamar, although they haven't really been using Lamar's skill set the same way to this point this season. But what do you think they have, and is it maybe less bleak than it might be in other circumstances where you turn to your backup quarterback?
Well, that last point you made is a great one, because I think everybody's looking at this like Cooper Rush is the polar opposite to Lamar. And, of course, he is in so many ways. But the way they've been playing offense this year, a lot of the things Cooper Rush has proven to be able to do, he could do, not to the level of Lamar or even close to it, but a serviceable level. But I think most importantly, Glenn, you think above the shoulders. And when I see Cooper Rush play, and when he stepped into these spots, he never seems overwhelmed by the moment. Yeah. Now, physically, he may be limited, and that'll catch up to you against good defenses. Just look at his game against the Texans last year. It was ugly. Got sacked 5 times, and they lost 34-10, I think, or something like that. But above the shoulders, he goes into games thinking, I can make enough plays for us to win, but I also won't make a bunch of plays for us to lose. And that's such a critical part to being a backup, is kind of handling all that comes with being thrown into the spotlight. And he seems to be equipped with those aspects and characteristics. So I think that's a positive for him. And then it goes back to where we started. What do they devise and create in terms of something from a game plan schematic standpoint where he's not put in positions where he's got to deal with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. off the edge and all the things the Texans can do defensively. And obviously that's a healthy dose of Derrick Henry. But I think if I were a Ravens fan, I'd be most confident that this isn't a player that they're putting out there that is going to shrink based off of the fact that, oh my God, I've got the weight of this organization on my shoulders because we're 1-3, and I got to make a ton of plays for us to win.
By the way, thanks for the reminder about the 5 sacks thing from last year with the reality that Ronnie Stanley might not play this Sunday either.
Yeah.
Thanks for that reminder, Evan. Appreciate it. Let me talk about the Texans because you bring up, obviously, their front. And look, those two dudes are as legit as it gets, and they have a hell of an edge rush. I am convinced that we are, in general, too dismissive of the Texans because of the 1-3 start. And, the one was against the Titans. But I still think there's far too much there for me to think the Texans will end up being anything other than I get it, the Colts and the Jaguars look good, but I still think they're going to find their way into the thick of the conversation in that division. I am convinced that there's a little bit of sleeping giant here right now with the Texans.
Couldn't agree with you more. I'm a big fan of C.J. Stroud. I think D'Amico Ryans is an incredible kind of motivator. He's a great defensive coach too, and their defense is for real. And whether it's Cooper Rush or a Lamar Jackson who's less than 100%, they're going to feel that come Sunday. The offense is the area of under construction, if you will, or beta version. And I think you saw it in the Titans game, but you have to put it in context because it is the Titans, as crazy as that sounds in the NFL. But Woody Marks, I think, provides them with something they've been missing since Joe Mixon's been out. And he's got some burst. I think early in the year they thought, all right, well, let's lean on Nick Chubb. We know he's not what he once was off the injuries, but he's a capable, experienced player. And he is still those things, and he's still a big body for tough yards. But Woody Marks provides them a little bit of juice, especially as a receiver out of the backfield, which Joe Mixon did so well. And I just think that Nick Caley, who's in a kind of first-time coordinator spot, he and CJ are still working through some things. And as wild as it sounds, coming off a Titans game where they seem to develop some rhythm and confidence, now they go up against a Ravens defense that when healthy was struggling and now is dealing with all the things that we all know. And back end is beat up, and Nico Collins, probably the best receiver people don't talk about in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. And obviously to your point about Woody Marks, like you got to be looking at that Ravens defensive line and saying, yeah, we'll take our chances going up against that right now.
Or the linebackers that got to catch him out of it. I think as much as he is as a runner,
that's fair,
if I was
right.
to
You're saying you want to get him outside the numbers.
Does well,
yeah.
He is. Yeah, look at his receptions in college at USC. He's a threat out of the backfield.
I think you're 100% right about that. All right, but other than that, Evan, other than all that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, the weather is going to be great.
Right, you got that, which is good for you.
Yeah, weather's going to be great. It's going to be a good atmosphere. And, again, I think so much is unknown as we sit here on a Thursday, even in terms of who's playing and who's not. But there's something about the way this league works, and this isn't even specific to the Ravens, that right when you think like a team is DOA, and you're like, then something happens. So I kind of now primed for that. It's like you basically fade yourself in anything you think or believe.
Nobody thought the Giants were beating the Chargers last week. Like nobody.
There you
saw
go.
That coming.
Good point.
Real quick, Evan, I worked the Atlas Cup with USA Lacrosse this weekend, and
did you really?
Yeah.
Cool for you.
Well, I was talking to Andy Shea and some of the coaches, and apparently for the Olympics for sixes, the thought is now that they're only going to have 11-man rosters, and so they might only take one goalie with them to the Olympics and just have to have someone else who would be the emergency goalie. So I ask you, as a defensive guy, would you have been capable of being the emergency goalie should you be needed for your country?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No shot in hell would I be able to step in there, especially in that version of the
Oh,
sport.
it's insane, isn't
It's
it?
like it's goalie torture. I get one of my close friends is Michael Phipps. He's the assistant
Yeah.
with the Maryland team, and his brother Brian's a longtime pro.
Great
and
friend of mine.
he
yeah.
texted me pictures after those sixes, the winter one he did with the PLL.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It really looked like cruelty. I'll tell you, Glenn, I took a shot once in practice off my calf where I didn't get out of the way quick enough, and I felt it for 6 months. It's no joke.
Dude.
Those people are certifiable that step in between those pipes. So yeah, as much as I'd love to be an Olympian,
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I would not that much.
No, right? They are lunatic. And I actually saw those pictures of Brian. I actually saw.
Oh, okay.
They're nuts, man. What in the world? Who are you?
Wait, so can they only take 11? Is it a budgetary thing?
It's
or
not.
is it
That's not. Apparently, it's not a done deal yet. The word was it was going to be 12, right? It was going to be 10 field players and 2 goalies.
Well, and you should be able to have an emergency similar to NFL. Doesn't count against your roster, but he's there and break glass.
You would think that, man, but the Olympics are weird. They're really weird
Oh,
about
yeah.
this. So what I was understanding and talking to the coaches was they were a couple of the countries purposely only sent 1 goalie to the event this weekend because they're just trying to get used to that being their reality moving forward. So
Who
see.
stood out? Who was who?
I mean,
was
Jeff
kinda
Teat
for
stood
US?
out because he's Jeff Teat.
Yeah,
Right?
but unfortunately he's Canadian.
Yeah, and for the U.S., this was a little bit different because I think they're doing another event in Canada, another Sixes event in a month, so they kind of split up the team. Tarafenko looked outstanding. That absolutely was someone that stood out to me.
That's cool.
But I am still really interested in who's not in the program right now. Who's sort of call me when we get to 2027.
I mean, there's going to be players that are going to show themselves that are either freshmen, sophomores,
Right.
maybe juniors right now. That it's I didn't see this person as perfectly suited for this style.
Matt Brandow looked great too, actually. He looked like someone that would absolutely be a fit for this style of lacrosse. Evan,
Love it.
Appreciate you, brother. Looking forward to seeing you
Yeah,
Sunday.
man.
Thank you for as always taking the time. Enjoy the rest of the
I
walk.
promise I'll do Zoom next time
Love you,
with
buddy.
my dog.
That would be even better. Oh my God. Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Evan Washburn with us here on GCR. It's very difficult to keep talking about this. You're just it doesn't. I don't want to make it sound like they have no chance. But then when you say things like that, well, anything could happen any given Sunday. It just sounds sort of pithy, right? Well, sure, the Ravens have a chance because anybody has a chance. That's what we're saying. Well, if the Giants can win a game, is that where we are? Kind of. If we're being honest, it's kind of where we are at this point. You're putting out a team it's just not good enough and hoping for the best. Today's show is also brought to you by Navy football. Coming up this Saturday, Navy Air Force, first leg of the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy Series. Nowhere better to be than at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in historic Annapolis. Single game tickets on sale, not just for this Saturday, but for the rest of the season. Great conference matchups. Navy football off to a 4-0 start. Get your tickets today. NavySports.com. Go Navy, beat Army. That's a nice little Saturday of college football here locally. We'll do picks a little bit later on, but Navy Air Force at noon kickoff for that, and then a 3:30 kickoff for Maryland or Washington traveling to Maryland after that. So a nice little local college football Saturday. That's going to be a pleasant day. All right, we continue along on a Thursday edition of GCR. All season long, we have been celebrating 30 seasons of Baltimore Ravens football. And to do that, we've been catching up with members of the inaugural Baltimore Ravens team in order to reflect on, as I know we're all down in the moment, but how truly amazing it is to have gone from where the Ravens were to where the Ravens are. Joining us now, a member of the inaugural Ravens. He came over from Cleveland. He also a Super Bowl 35 champion and part of how Pressbox came to exist, actually. Our next guest. He is the great Rob Burnett, and he is back with us now here on GCR. Rob, it's Glenn. It's always good to catch up with you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Oh, thank you for having me, bro. I miss 410.
Hey, man.
You know, and I miss what we were able to like achieve in such a short period of time. You know, Mr. Modell and Ozzie. You know, and you know, talking about players, I think I was one of 5 who came from Cleveland.
That ended up.
And I'm one of the people, and Stan knows, I'm one of the people that know every single body's buried with the move. Because I was a Cleveland Brown for 6 years.
Yeah, correct, right? Like you had been invested in Cleveland, obviously.
Yeah.
Rob, can you?
So I came.
I feel like there are young people in town that don't understand still how bleak it was or how kind of crazy it was when the move happened and what the Ravens were. Can you kind of walk me through what you experienced in that moment and what your feelings were about like this cockamamie idea of going to Baltimore where you literally didn't even have a name or a logo at that point?
No, because by that time I had grown a relationship with Mr. Modell. And him and I would chat. And I knew what was happening politically in the city of Cleveland. They didn't like him. Meanwhile, they're building a science and technology downtown. They're building the new Indians, and they're building the Cavs, brand new downtown.
Yep.
And we have the hottest ticket in the area, and they can't get it. They got the stadium. Babe Ruth hit a home run in Memorial. I'll tell you that because of the leaky, rusty pipe that was over my locker.
So
they put rookies in bad situations.
So you were ready for it.
Yeah.
You were good with it.
I wasn't ready for it. I just went with the flow, man. I'm here to play football, man. I'm not here to do anything else. You know, I keep my head down. I'm just trying to find my way.
What were your earliest memories of showing up in Baltimore and looking around? Because, again, now we know it's Ravens pandemonium. It's bedlam, right? Like, the city lives and breathes. I think it's hard for people to understand that's maybe not what it looked like on day one when you guys got here.
Oh, no. There was, you know, and a lot of reasons I don't think it was necessarily talent-wise, but they had to do some creative things cap-wise. And a lot of it had to do with, like, a lot of letting, you know, some guys go, you know, to free up the money. Well, so I think that was a big thing because a lot of these guys Ozzie picked, and Ozzie's as loyal as they come. But, I mean, there was a salary cap issue when we came there. Thanks Dre Risen and a couple of these other guys that came around.
Rob, am I remembering right that you guys didn't even have like a full practice squad at first because of that?
No, they didn't have anything. Shoot.
Right.
And Pepper Johnson was wearing 52. I'll tell you that.
Well, oh boy, what a crazy thought that is, right? Right? He
was in practice in minicamp.
What a crazy thought that is.
Ray was already with us. He had some other number.
Wow. Rob Burnett is with us, of course, member of the inaugural Ravens team. Of course, this is the 30th season of Ravens football. Rob, I've been asking everybody that I've talked to, and you, of course, because you did stay for a little bit longer, won a Super Bowl, and then, you know, you were around as part of the media, in fact, for a while. In reflecting on how the Ravens went from what you guys were in '96 to becoming Super Bowl champions, to becoming one of the model organizations in pro sports, what do you think is the biggest reason why the Ravens were able to go from that to this?
Well, I can. There's I can't recall his name, but he's a professor at NYU business, and his question to his students were, "What does McDonald's represent globally?" You know, everybody's like McDonald's, French fries, that, 11, you know, whatever. And then he just broke it down. He said consistency. That's what it means. It means if you're in China or you're in Chicago, your cheeseburger's going to taste the same. And like that gets the confidence of the consumer. You know, when you know, like I'm having Domino's Pizza in Syracuse, and it's the same one I had in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, humans sometimes are into that stuff. So that's, you know, that's the secret behind marketing and how that business blows up.
And that's to you what the Ravens have represented consistency to you.
Yeah, for the most part, yes. They early success, which a lot of people can say is anomalous. I mean, you know, whatever we did or was like some strange, you know, extraterrestrial. It wasn't, man. We just stopped the run, 163 yards per game. Okay, we had our stats defensively would have been better, but you know what record we have? The most 3 and outs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like, man, get that putter, man. I told putter, man, go get on the bike, bro. You'll be back.
You're about to be right back out there.
Yeah, don't cool off too much. Because these suckers ain't going to last more than 3 plays.
About to be right back out there. Rob, what about?
Yeah, man.
What about? Because you brought up Ozzie, and I feel like most people have said, like, Ozzie's the reason, right? That like he was the one that allowed.
Ozzie's the reason for me.
Yeah. Tell me about that, Rob.
And you know what? My relationship with Ozzie is different than anyone's in that building.
Why so?
Anyone's. He's my teammate.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I don't think
he was my teammate in 1990 in Cleveland. He was my team. He was the tight end for the Browns. Ozzie and I got real close because they used to play over defense. So I was over the tight end, and he'd play, "Don't hit me, boy." I'm like, I ain't gonna hit you.
What do you think made Ozzie so good in making this jump to the next part of his career, Rob? Why do you think he was able to become, you know, what would be, if he wasn't a Hall of Fame player, he'd be in the Hall of Fame now as an executive?
No, he's gone. He's gonna do that. But it's his again, his McDonald's in him, his consistency, and his belief. Okay, especially if you're one of his guys, he's going to give you every chance to F it up. You know, and Ozzie's fair. And the one thing he does what a lot of front office guys and organizations do, and if you just think about it and go through the league, you know who they are. Okay, it's just like the Steelers or some of these teams that have structure and foundations. You know, not somebody's going to fire the next coach next year or next week. You know, the Steelers, you know, the Hobbs has been there, 15 years now? I mean, that's how you build a franchise. And the one thing that Ozzie doesn't do, which is, I think, paramount, he doesn't blink. That man don't get nervous, man.
Man,
He'll be burning around him.
It's stoic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's stoic. He always looks the exact same in every single
Who, Billick or Ozzie?
Ozzie, yeah. Ozzie.
Oh yeah. Ozzie's consistent, bro.
No doubt.
And that's what, yeah. And you know you were getting from him.
Rob,
and that is in this day and age, that's something.
Rob, the really important question: the Ravens are really depleted up front right now, like really depleted. I know you're quite a few years beyond it, but is there any chance we could get like 10 snaps out of you on Sunday against the Texans? Is there?
I'm almost 60.
I know you are.
You're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to. You know what? Wherever side of the field, just put the helicopter on the other side to take me to shock trauma.
Probably not gonna be the case anymore, man. Probably not gonna be the case.
Nah, man.
Rob, what are you up to these days?
Just family man, running my real estate business. You know, I've been building and keeping apartment buildings since
That's great,
Baltimore
man.
days.
That's great. I'm happy
You
to.
know, and we build at least one every year. These are multi. The last one was like 33 units in 4 stores.
Wow.
And we've been doing this, like I said, since 1998.
That's
Me and my
awesome.
partner here in Jersey.
That's awesome, man. I know.
So I miss the game and everything, but I also, I miss my daughter too. And she's almost, she's got another 2 years of high school, and then she's gone. And this house is empty.
I'm glad you're able to enjoy those moments, Rob. That's.
I am too, sir.
That's awesome. Are you going to be in town? I know we're doing the 25th anniversary celebration of the Super Bowl team later this year. You going to be back for that?
Yeah, I RSVP'd already.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We can't wait to see you.
You want to come through?
Of course, man. Are you kidding me? That's a party. Yeah. What are we talking about?
Yeah, man. Come on. Now they're going to have sandwiches.
Rob Burnett, really appreciate you taking time for us this morning, man. It's great to hear your voice. Looking forward to seeing you back later this season. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, bro. Have a great one.
Appreciate you, man. Super Bowl 35 champion and inaugural Raven, Rob Burnett. As, we're doing that all season long, catching up with members of the inaugural team to reflect on 30 seasons of Ravens football. Don't forget Project Game Day returns this Sunday. Whatever happens, we'll be talking about it afterwards. Myself, Rita, KZ, Andrew Stecca, Griffin, and former Ravens linebacker Tyus Bowser. Come hang out with us immediately following the game. PressBoxOnline.com/GameDay. It's all brought to you by Game Day Men's Health, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, the Costas Inn, and Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. We're going to make some picks here in a minute. Jeremy Conn, it's been a little while. It'll be good to have him back.
Who?
Yeah, you familiar with him?
I don't never heard of him.
We'll catch up with him next. It's Glenn Clark Radio. Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House, located in the Baltimore Peninsula. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Game day gets even better at Live Casino. Score a live jersey on September 6th and bucket hat on September 27th. Plus, catch our big plays, big pays hot seats on select game days. When the home team scores, the prize pool doubles. And we'll give away a $50 sports and social gift card with every touchdown. Take it to the end zone at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along. CountySports.zone is where you find everything you need to know about high school sports here in the state of Maryland. Every score, every schedule, every update, every ranking. It's not just high school football. It's everything else. It's soccer, field hockey, volleyball, and as we get into winter sports season, basketball, they've got everything you need to know. CountySports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. A couple of things that have sort of been lingering around. Yeah, I was doing radio on BAL last night, and I got a message where somebody said, "Who are you rooting for between the Red Sox and you?" I can't believe anybody. Rooting? No is the answer.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Yankees to lose.
I'm rooting for the Red Sox to lose. There is no one is not greater than or less than the other to me. They are the exact same in my mind. All of them, all of their fan bases, they all suck. If it was so how will it work out? Who would the winner of that series play?
Not Seattle, the other one.
So Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah.
So someone might say, hey, if it's Yankees Toronto, it's still No. At that point, very clearly not the Yankees. You can root for Toronto to lose in the next series. But they are, as much as Cito still sucks, there's no comparable between these two. These two are the evil empires. So that's easy. Believe it or not, it doesn't require you to have a rooting interest in every game. Sometimes you can just watch and say, or not watch. Or you could just watch and say, one of these teams is going to win, and whoever it is, I hope they immediately lose. And the good news is at least one of them will not be playing baseball after today.
That's true. It's true.
There's at least one of these two teams will not play any more baseball following tonight.
I think I want the Yankees to lose a little bit more.
I no idea where that would come from. But
the Yankees. They suck.
Right. The other ones are the
I hate
Red
the
Sox.
Yankees. I know. I don't like the Red Sox.
Admittedly, it's very weird. I actually have had far more pleasant experiences with Yankees fans than I have with Red Sox fans are maybe the worst people that I've ever met in my life. Because there's just something inherent. It's the mass hole concept, right? Like, some people are just tried and true New Yorkers that just genuinely love the Yankees. Like, we always think of the Cowboys fan who roots for the Yankees. Like, that's who we think of.
And the Lakers,
but, yeah. But there are lots of just New Yorkers that root for the Yankees. And, yes, it'll come out of them eventually when you deal with them, when they remind you, you guys aren't real. Like, we're baseball. Like, you'll get there eventually, but you don't deal with it 24/7. You're around Red Sox fans, and it's 24/7. They're just awful people. It's not just about baseball. It's just they're bad people. They are truly. And then you also, oh, my God, there was a Boston couple that was the winners of the last season of MasterChef. And she was a good-looking woman. She was lovely. And she would talk, and it would be very normal. And you'd be like, oh, they seem likable. And all of a sudden, she'd be talking about Gordon Ramsay, and she'd be like, it'd be just out of nowhere. She'd be like, and then, we were going to make the fish, and then Gordon said that we should. And it was just,
She would just switch back to her.
It would just come out of her. And it would be effing nails on a chalkboard, man. I don't know why.
So you hate Boston more than New York?
I don't know. I don't hate the teams anymore. No one more than the other.
Right.
The teams are equal to me.
So it sounds like the
Bostoners.
Bostonians, I believe.
Bostonians.
Bostoners?
Bostoners. I don't think about that. They might want to consider Bostoners. Oh, my God. Oh, I'll take a Yankees fan. I'll take a New Yorker any day before I deal with them. Like, it's just every layer of it is worse than the last. And that doesn't even talk about, like that they're widely considered to be the most racist city in America. Like, I just mean general unpleasantness. Like, they're just awful people. So, And yeah, the inability to pronounce. I know that it's rich because we can't pronounce a T. We don't pronounce T's ever.
What?
So,
like what?
Yeah, like the name of the city.
Baltimore?
Yeah. I get that it's rich for me to talk about how they can't pronounce the letter R because I understand who we are. I don't know what it is. There's lots of accents. The Pittsburgh accent is awful. It's awful. And I know,
like those yinzes?
Yeah, I know a lot of people from that aren't from here think that like the true Baltimore accent. I tell this story all the time. I moved to Phoenix. I do my first show, and my program director pulls me in and says, "What are we going to do about your accent?" And I was like, "I don't have an accent." Because he, of course, has never actually been here to hear what someone with a Baltimore accent really sounds like. So I get that it's rich, but I swear I contend there is no accent known to man that is as ungodly awful to listen to as a bullshit. Like, my God, it's painful.
I think that's why like Mark Wahlberg doesn't land with me.
There was a Wahlberg line from some crap movie that Kyle used to say all the time, and it was like the quintessential Wahlberg line. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's why Mark Wahlberg can't be Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it's why. But all this,
even though he wants to be.
Whatever. If the Yankees have won more and are more insufferable as a franchise because of that, it's evened out by how insufferable everyone in the city of Boston is. So no, they're absolute.
All right, so you're rooting for the Yankees tonight.
No, I'm not rooting for either one of them.
I'm rooting for the Red Sox. We're both bad.
I'm rooting
We're both
for.
awful,
I'm rooting for
but
a weird rule in which neither one of them. The game goes on for 30 innings, no one wins, and they're both eliminated.
Oh, so what? You want the Astros to be thrown into the
yes,
ALDS?
I would prefer that. 100%. Bang on all the trash cans. I don't know how this is going to go. It's weird that you bring that up because joining us right now here on GCR is Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
that's crazy. I don't even know if he can do this one. Mark, good morning.
Say hi to your mother for me. Did you have you seen the SNL skit where he's talking to the goats and everything? And I forget who was portraying him, but every time he left one of the animals at the petting zoo, they go, "Hey, make sure you say hi to your mother for me, little goat. Say hi to your mother for me."
That's
yeah,
really
so
good. That is really good. Who the hell is this guy, Jeremy Conn? This is unbelievable.
Yeah, is this a new show?
Yeah, I just started this. I don't think it's gonna last. I got to be honest with you. I don't
is
have
this
a lot
BAL? What station am I on right now?
settle down over there. Spent 4 hours last night pretending that I cared about the government shutdown for 4 hours.
I heard that you want marijuana to be outlawed. Huh.
What?
Yeah, isn't that what
It's
you were
the exact
talking about?
opposite of
Isn't that what you were talking about? That's what it sounded like.
So
you were
I'm not
talking
on
about,
this show anymore.
Yeah, it's the exact. Jeremy's still on his spaceship from being in Ocean's Calling this weekend. Somebody,
by the way,
somebody
I fell
asked
in love
Jeremy.
with Lenny Kravitz.
Well, you fell in love with Lenny Kravitz. How are you not already in love with Lenny Kravitz?
Well, because he's one of those artists that I like his music. I would never go see him live unless it was a festival like this. That has, by the way, that has all changed now that I've seen him live.
Dude.
Because he's the one I walked away from. That and the dude from the Dan Band coming out with OAR.
Oh yeah, I saw.
My two favorite things.
I was watching all the video. I would love the weekends in the fall are brutal for me because of my play-by-play. I would love our buddy Steve Johnson always hassles me about it every year. Like, dude, why aren't you going to this? This is everything you like. I'm like, I know. Trust me, I know. I love Noah Khan. I love Lenny Kravitz. Love desperately Lenny Kravitz. Green Day, the whole thing. I would have had a great time. Who else did you maybe discover that you weren't as into before the weekend that now?
I thought some other ones that I thought were good. We watched Natasha Bedingfield in the rain, and I thought she performed fairly well. Yeah, so and it was a perfect. That's where she kept going back to that because it was raining. It's
so
like,
cool.
oh God, I hope Blind Melon doesn't come out next. But no, there were, I would say, some of the earlier bands. I mean, Lenny Kravitz was the first one that I saw. There were that just kind of just wowed me. But I was a little disappointed because I really wanted to see Cake, and the stage that they were on, their sound system wasn't. I feel like it was malfunctioning all weekend because it kept going in and out, and it was kind of light. So I wanted to see them. And who else? I'm just trying to think. It's 3 days of music, and it's
hard
so funny. I saw
it's
so many
also
bands.
hard for Jeremy to remember because again, he was barely present for most.
Yeah, I was
of the
there.
weekend.
I think. No, I loved Green Day. And again, when OAR and Friends come out, and he brings out, the lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls,
they
to do
did
two of his hits.
Yeah, I saw. They did Iris. That's dope. That is.
He did Iris and Slide, and then the guy. I forget the lead singer OAR's name. I'm sure you know right offhand.
Mark Robarge.
Yeah. So and by the way, he's one of those guys too that when he talks, his voice sounds exactly the same when he sings.
Yeah.
Like it's like the purest voice I've ever heard in my life. Like Adele, you talk to her and it sounds like you're
she's
talking to a trash
Cagney,
can.
right? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. And then all of a sudden she sings like an angel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I thought there were a lot of like some of the artists that, the different rock bands, like Nelly was cool, En Vogue. I got to see the end of their set.
That's dope.
So there were some nostalgic things from like the 90s for me that I really enjoyed.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I would like to get there at some point. The dates are tough, but I really would like to go. And I was living vicariously through everyone posting videos this weekend and jealous that I wasn't there. All right, so Jeremy is joining us this time to make picks, of course. Now, this is going to be very difficult. Jeremy, today is Yom Kippur, and everybody knows I should have prepared you for this. Everybody knows there's a part of Yom Kippur that I think to you is the most important part of the day, and that is, hang on, I'm trying to make sure I pronounce it correctly. It's blowing the shofar?
Yeah, I did that earlier today. He's a nice guy. I
got to be honest with you, man. This is going to sound so stupid. I don't know why I remember this. There's a lot of things that you've said over the years that are funny to me, and I've remembered them. There was a day you were doing a throwaway Sunday show with like Weinman, and you had Gary Stein call in from like the Super Bowl. I think he was at the Super Bowl.
Sounds like a
PA.
good show.
Yeah.
Because he always went to be the
PA announcer,
like one of the officials.
the in-house PA announcer, like in the press box. He did the PA announcing, and I don't know how the blowing the shofar came up, but you were like, "Did you just say you're blowing your chauffeur?" And it was on. It was on 105.7, and I was just like, I slapped my knee so hard that day.
I love when Gary Stein redid the George Costanza.
That
was so amazing.
He looked great,
Gary's
by the
such
way.
a good sport, man.
He looked incredible. We need to involve Gary in more of our reindeer games.
Yeah, he kind of looked like an Ewok that got shaved, right? Or something, a little bit.
I love Gary heard that he had the job at BAL. I think he was hoping that meant that I had gone to the. Like that, I was suddenly like on the strong red team. Like I think that was the deal. He called me. He was very excited. He's like, "Dude, you're at BAL now." I'm like, "Gary, I'm probably not where you are, but I love you."
But he's such a good dude, man.
He's one of my favorite human beings that's ever lived, man. I couldn't love that guy anymore. We're gonna make some picks for this week. Here's where we are. So the winner, of course, gets a little bit of cash. The loser, I'm still finalizing it. I think it's going to be at a location that you and I both love in general, but we're going to play a 24-hour game for the loser. We're going to do the bit where you got to spend 24 hours at an establishment, but you're going to have time taken off for certain things. So I still have to finalize all those details and write it out, but
so maybe we get to stop by, feed you something.
Yeah, that type of thing. I think we're going to do the show live from there that day.
Okay.
Is going to be the plan. Jeremy, I would say it's a place that now has a second location that's now open. That's what we're working on. So
do I want to lose or
no? But it's gonna be instead of like eating food, it might be that like you have to do dishes or you have to swab the floor. Like that's what we're working on for the 24-hour game that we're gonna come up with for the loser of this. So that's where we're at the moment. At the top of the table, James Revere, Andrew Stetka. That's dramatic because remember, if Andrew Stetka wins, he's allowed to quit. And Griffin Bass tied at the top of the table right now, but only 2 games over 500. Jeremy Conn, 1 game back at 21-21. Myself and Joe Serpico, 2 games back. John and Little Rock, 3 games back. Then John Proctor, Kyle Ottenheimer, Ryan Shell, 4 games back. KZ 5, and KZ now dangerously close to the bottom of the table where we find Paul Valley, who is 7 games back, but 2 games behind KZ for the race for the bottom of the table. As always, 3 college games, 6 NFL games. Griffin, where are we starting this week? Jeremy, the way this goes is I'll make my pick first, and then you'll be next, and then Griffin will go, all right?
We are going down to College Park on Big Ten Network. The Terps coming off a bye. They will be hosting the Washington Huskies, who just got, I guess they hung in for a little bit with Ohio State, but they are favored on the road, Washington -6.5 against the Terps.
And I think they should be. I don't think that line is wrong to me at all. The only thing I would say is that, to the point, so far, the best thing you have going for you about Washington is they've scored a lot of points against lesser competition. They scored 59 points against Washington State. They scored 70 points against UC Davis, of course, powerhouse UC Davis. Their defense actually looked really good against Ohio State last week. I think they deserve to be favored by a touchdown, and as much as I want to buy into Maryland, this is going to continue to be they're going to have to keep proving
anti-Maryland show.
They're
right?
they're going to have to keep proving it to me before I buy into it, so I will go Washington here. Jeremy.
Yeah, I go Washington as well. I mean, it was kind of, I don't want to say alarming when I saw it come out. It's like a 4.5-point spread on the road, because you start thinking about the team coming from the west to the east, who's played who and how have they done. And again, like, I was against the Terps when they went to Wisconsin and got embarrassed, and now I'm starting to wonder, is Wisconsin just really, really bad this year? But I'm taking Washington. Even though it's that West coming east, at least it's a 3:30 game and not a noon game for them, because that would just be disastrous for Washington. I hope I'm wrong, but give me the Huskies.
I was embarrassed as well picking Wisconsin 2 weeks ago. And so I don't want that to happen again. I can't go against the Terps. I feel like it's not a great spot for the Huskies coming to even though it is a 3:30 game.
Remember that that was a big storyline last year in the
with
Big
USC.
Ten, is how the West Coast teams really did struggle in the first year of making the cross country travel.
Yeah, I guess Oregon obviously looked a lot better against Penn State the other night, but maybe that's more about Penn State. I don't want to discredit that win that Maryland had. I'm just gonna be excited. I think they snapped the Mike Loxley 0-9 post bye as well.
Right.
So Terps outright.
I didn't realize it was 0-9 post bye.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I
saw
a
that
little
this
bit
morning.
better about my pick.
I saw that this morning. I was like, whatever. Go Terps.
Right,
go
good
Terps.
for you.
I'm taking Maryland.
To be fair, they don't have to win in order for you to get that.
That is true. I believe there are 5 backers of Washington. It is you two. Andrew Stetka joins you guys, as does John in Little Rock and Ken Zalis.
Oh, KZ might not be good at this anymore. I don't know how I feel about that. Next.
We are going to Tuscaloosa, the number 10 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide hosting the number 16 ranked. I think it's their highest ranking since like 1956 for the Vanderbilt Commodores, and Bama laying 10.5 against Vandy.
And apparently, all the juice coming from Johnny Manziel for the success that they have found. Was it Diego Pavia? Has been working one-on-one with Johnny Manziel, and it's paying off. I also, obviously the big storyline here is that Alabama lost to Vanderbilt last year. This is at home, so it's a bit different in that way. It's also a big number. Alabama coming off that win over Georgia. There's a part of me that wants to bite on Vanderbilt, but I can't. Give me Alabama.
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one because I do think this is an extremely tough game, as you mentioned, the revenge spot from last year. I think this Bama team is good, and the fact that they beat Georgia, the embarrassing loss in Week 1 to Florida State, maybe not as bad as everyone thought. But I think I'm going to take Vanderbilt plus the points. I just think it's too many points in this spot, even though Alabama is clearly the better team. I'll roll with Diego Pavia and that Commodore offense.
Yeah, I felt the same way about the revenge spot from last year. That's why I picked Georgia last weekend against Alabama before they got embarrassed. Well, I guess maybe not embarrassed, but they lost at home to Alabama. I feel like it's a big letdown spot for Alabama after a big road win over Georgia. They're coming home, and I don't want to go against Diego Pavia. I mean, he's the stat is he's 7-1 as a dog of 7 or more points. And I think another thing that doesn't ever happen, I think happens. Vandy will win in Tuscaloosa for the first time since 1984.
Whoa, you're going for that is bold. All right.
I'm taking Vandy. Once again, it is a 7-5 split in favor of the underdog. 7 of us on Vandy. Glenn is on Bama, as is James Revere, John in Little Rock, John Proctor, and Paul Valley.
Oh no. Well, it was fun. Well, we had a good time.
Now to Tallahassee, the number 18 ranked Florida State Seminoles will have to rebound off of their loss to UVA.
Just get to the point where I say I'm taking Florida State. Just get to that point. But go ahead.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if I draw their players survived the field storm. We don't know.
I think the one guy is definitely no longer with the
Miami is ranked number 3 in the country, and they are laying 4.5 on the road against Florida State.
I just don't think the ACC is that good in general. I don't think Miami is particularly. I think there's an overreaction to the fact that they beat Notre Dame. I don't think Miami is that much better than any other ACC team, and I think, a get-right spot for Florida State. I don't know. My gut tells me Florida State might even win this game outright. Florida State is my pick here.
You're good, because this is what I see too. And if I see it, then it has to be right?
Correct.
No.
Correct. You're a dead 500 for the season.
Yeah, but I don't get to pick the damn game. Who picks Navy every week? What is that about?
No, we picked Navy last week because Maryland didn't play. We try to have a local game involved.
No, Navy's been on the schedule almost
Well, because we're Navy
week.
fans here.
Well, we are.
I bet they're over 8.5.
Well, I also
Jeremy,
think that
that's
one
why.
week Maryland was playing Towson, so we didn't have a line for a 1AA game, so that was the reason.
Oh, there was
why.
a line on that game. I could have got you a line.
Yeah, but it's like one of those. We have a partner we're supposed to be pulling the lines from type of deal. So
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, then, anyway,
Not
so
supposed to be on.
getting to why I like Florida State, I called the Virginia upset, and I thought it was one of those spots, island game for Virginia, national TV. It's like a Super Bowl for them, and they get to face a Florida State team that has Miami the next week. It was just the perfect look-ahead spot. I think Florida State's better than people want to give them credit for after that loss, and I think they bounced back, and I agree with Glenn. Wouldn't be shocked if they won, but I definitely think they cover that 4.5. This feels like a field goal game.
I agree kind of at surface value there. Like it does seem like a good spot for Florida State. They have to bounce back. They're coming home. They get the extra day of rest and prep. But, I mean, have you guys seen Ruben Bain Jr. play football? I think if he wants to sack the quarterback, if he wants to sack Castellanos, he's going to. I think I'm gonna take Miami. I'm drunk on the Hurricanes.
You don't know ball, dog.
Maybe
you
not.
Just don't know
maybe
ball
not.
like Jeremy and I do.
7-5 split once again, in this time in favor of the favorite Miami. So 5 backers of the Noles: Glenn, Jeremy, John and Little Rock, both the Johns, John and Little Rock, John Proctor, and Paul Valley once again.
Oh no, son of a bitch!
So we got to get some games right.
I've had either
right?
KZ or Paul in agreement with me for every game that I picked so far. It's not a great sign.
We're going to Thursday Night Football tonight. The Walking Wounded. I mean, I think. Do you think the Ravens are worse off, or do you think the Niners are worse off injury-wise?
The Ravens are worse off.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're missing their quarterback. The Niners are missing their quarterback too. They're getting
their
7.5.
quarterback, with all due respect, isn't Lamar Jackson.
That's true. They're getting 7.5. At least that's where we got the line. It might be at 8.5 now. But the Rams are laying 7.5, hosting the Niners tonight.
This is still weird for me because I think everybody knows that I've been down on the Niners even before some of these injuries, but. Like there is a part of me who the hell are they throwing the ball to tonight? Like who are their receivers?
Should I start Kendrick Bourne or Trey Tucker?
I don't know. How would I?
I'd start Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne's
Is
on the
he
Niners.
is he their top receiver?
Yeah,
at this
him
point?
or DeMarcus Robinson.
Jesus Christ, these are guys. Can I be honest? I didn't know either one of those guys was a 49er.
You know who their top receiver is? It's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He's got a
yeah.
7.5 reception prop.
Well,
that's Puka's prop.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still think I may be taking the over on that.
Crazy.
Look, man, I get where you are. I still kind of think it's nuts. Like the Rams are not a team that typically blows teams out. And so that's the only part of this that makes it weird to me. But it is Thursday Night Football. I know it's not a significant travel, so it's probably mitigated. I guess I have to default to the Rams, but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I get that. And I went back and forth on this one, too, because my favorite play in the game here is the over. I think we see points where a lot of people are nervous about Mac Jones. Mac Jones being the starting quarterback.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Who?
I feel like we have we have a situation here with the divisional game. It looks like too many points to me. I clearly think the Rams are going to win. Hell, they could be up by double digits the whole game and then not care and get back toward. And I feel like it's a good spot to take the 49ers plus the points.
I feel the same way. Shanahan, I mean, typically Shanahan has his team healthy, but typically Shanahan does play McVay kind of well. And I don't know, even though they don't have anyone available, I feel like I need to take the Niners here, getting over a touchdown. So I'll take San Fran as well. Jeremy and I are on the Niners, and John Proctor, everyone else is on the Rams. So I don't feel good about it. I don't feel great about taking the Niners, but I mean,
you don't have either KZ or Paul Valley, so you might be in really good shape actually. Now that I think
Two
about it.
Sunday's games in the 1 o'clock window, the Denver Broncos are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly, and the Eagles are 3.5-point favorites.
I keep feeling like the shoe's going to drop for the Eagles at some point, right? Like I keep feeling like they're not quite as good. The AJ Brown stuff. Who was it? Was it Diana Rossini this week who made the comment that like the Eagles and AJ Brown are like the couple that fights all the time so they can have really great makeup sex? And I was like, that's That's pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good analogy. I keep thinking, and I want to be a believer in the Broncos, right? I was a believer in the Broncos coming into the year, and I guess they looked their best against the Bengals last week, but what do you make of that, right? Like, how do you I don't know. I just keep wanting to pick against the Eagles. It's going to happen at some point, so I'm going to just keep doing it until it does. Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. I've been talking about the Eagles all year long, and I mean, they could very easily be 0-4 right now. I know they're not. They're 4-0.
Yeah.
They've done everything they're supposed to do, but there's just something off. I do think they're having a little bit of that Super Bowl hangover, but it makes you wonder, can they correct some of the issues that they've had? Now, they've found ways to win. They play one of the most boring brands of football. I usually like betting against teams coming off of Monday night and going on the road the next week. But I'm going to take the Broncos to keep this close because I just feel like the Eagles are going to play a close game.
Yeah, I really like the Broncos defense, and maybe it is the recency bias of Monday night, and we're playing an anemic Bengals offense. But Philly, like you said, it doesn't make sense that they're winning these games and covering in these games. But I don't want to be on. So I'm going to do the opposite though of what Glenn does, and I'm just going to ride it until it doesn't, until they stop hitting. So I will take the Eagles in this one for no really good reason. I think AJ Brown does probably get involved in this game, and even though
they go out of their way.
So I'll take the Eagles. Looks like we're pretty split here. Broncos are in the minority. Glenn, Jeremy, and KZ actually. Okay,
damn it.
Just three of you on the on the Denver Broncos.
No. What the hell is going on here, man?
We'll move to the 4 o'clock window where the Seattle Seahawks in the maybe one of the greatest uniform matchups of all time, unless the Broncos and Eagles decide to go to their throwbacks too. But I don't think they are. The Bucks and the Seahawks both in their throwback jerseys, and the Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites.
I just don't think the Seahawks deserve to be 3.5-point favorites. I still think that's a largely mid roster, and I think that some of their opponents, like they've played the Saints already, have helped to elevate and make their defense look otherworldly when I think their defense is good, and I think in general it's a so-so team. And so the Buccaneers are good enough to me that, and maybe I'm just biting the hook, but I don't think this number should be 3.5, so I'm going to take the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of that. I'm taking Seattle. I think Seattle's defense is a real thing, and maybe the best unit in football the way they've been playing. Mike McDonald, we know what he's capable of doing. You get Tampa Bay, who Bucky Irving's in a boot. I still think they're going to run the football well even without him. Mike Evans, a hamstring injury, you may say that may not matter, but if you can focus on Ibuka and try to take him out of the game, you're going to make Baker go to others, and I don't know that those others beat Seattle. So give me the Seahawks.
I like Baker enough. I like Baker a lot, but I think that hook is sticking out to me as well because it seems like it's going to be a close game. It may end up being, I guess, 5 points one way or the other, just because that seems like how the Buccaneers always find themselves in 5-point games for some reason. I don't know. Since they're getting points, even though they're going on the road, going out to Seattle, I still am going to take Baker and the Bucks here, which I don't feel as good about now since Glenn's on the Bucks as well.
Great point.
Yeah. Well, joining us is James Revere and Kyle Ottheimer and Ryan Schell on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So those are the two kind of close. Those two are right outside the bottom of the table with
James
Schell,
Revere?
with Schell and
James
Kyle.
at the top of the table. I'm good. Yeah, I don't have the two that are at the bottom. I'm good here.
Yeah, but the other two are close to the bottom.
Move on.
Commanders at the Chargers. Jane Daniels is back, and the Chargers are still 2.5-point favorites at home.
And I think they should be. Like, it's so hard to figure out what happened to them last week because they were playing such good complementary football. I guess the real story is, is their offensive line just shot because of the injury to Joe Alt, or are we just not giving enough credit to really how loaded the Giants' defensive front is, and that, that Von Miller's not doing that to the Chargers this week. There's a part of me that says, the Commanders with Jaden Daniels, they're getting points. I should just take that. I don't know. I really do like the Chargers, and the number's only 2.5. I think I'm going to take the Chargers here.
So I'm on the other side of this one. It's another one of those spots where the Chargers are the most heavily bet team this week, and it's still staying under that field goal, which that jumps out at me. I think the wrong team's favored. I think Washington wins this game, and I've been saying it all week, or at least all season when it comes to the NFL. We have to stop looking at what just happened and think that's who everyone is. I mean, we did it with the Falcons. Oh, my God, they're so good. They lost to the Panthers 20-0. They suck.
Right.
And then they come back and beat Washington. I mean, we've seen this happen all season long where, like, I had a conversation with somebody that was going the second week of the year. It's like, oh, my God, Seattle's offense sucked. The Steelers are going to kill them. And I went, did you watch their defense? He goes, did you see Pittsburgh's offense? We don't get to look at one side of it. It has to be the whole thing. And I think Washington gets it done on the road against the Chargers.
I feel the same way. Joe Alt not playing, I think, is very significant. Obviously, they lost without him last week, and maybe it's different. You know, the Giants' D-line is probably a lot better than the Commanders. But yeah, Jaden Daniels is back, and I need Jaden Daniels to have a massive game for fantasy purposes. So I will take the Commanders as well. Jeremy and I on Washington, John on Little Rock, and Ryan Shell on Washington.
No.
The bulk,
both of them.
The bulk on the Chargers.
I had a good week last week. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
The New England Patriots, Sunday Night Football here. The New England Patriots are going to Buffalo, and the Bills in their icy cold front jerseys is what they're calling them, are laying 7.5 against New England.
I know that this should absolutely be a reverse lock, and I think that's what Jeremy's about to tell me. Like, I know you have to take the Bills here because the Patriots seem to be too good to be 7.5-point dogs. So I know I'm supposed to take the Bills here. But I can't. Give me the Patriots and the points.
Well, I don't need to say anything here. Glenn just told you everything you need to know. Take the Bills.
Yeah.
That's what I'm on.
I know. I know.
It's the Stephon Diggs revenge game, you know? He's coming back to Buffalo. But Bill Belichick is not coming through the door for the Patriots. True. I'm taking the Bills as well. I think
I think Mike Vrabel might be a better coach, actually.
Against the Bills, though? I don't know. I don't know. I will take the Buffalo Bills at home to win by more than 7.5. Jeremy and I are on Buffalo. James Revere joins us. John Proctor. But Kyle, Paul, and Shell are on the Bills. So Ken's on the Patriots, yeah. Now, finally, the Baltimore Ravens, or at least guys wearing Ravens jerseys, will be hosting the Houston Texans, and the Texans are laying 1.5 in M&T Bank Stadium.
I really was hoping this number would go up a little bit more. Like, I really wanted to see this number climb.
More for the Texans?
Yeah, 3.5 or so. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I just have this bizarre feeling that somehow the Ravens are winning this effing game. Like, that somehow, some way, they're going to figure out a way to win this game. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, look, I talk about spots all the time, and this is the one that I think it's another one people are misreading. Both of these teams are 1-3, but because the Texans just shut out maybe the worst team in football and got their first win, the Ravens looked horrendous against a team that went to the Super Bowl last year. Here's where we get twisted up. The Ravens, I don't care if it's Cooper Rush, Lamar Jackson, whoever. I mean, we had John McClain on our show. It's covered Houston for years, and he said, this team has played one good quarter. Why are they favored over the Ravens? And he even said, I don't care who quarterbacks. I think the wrong team's favored. I think the Ravens handle business at home, a heavy dose of Derrick Henry, and then they get the win. It's my favorite play of the week.
Wow. Yeah, everyone's talking up the Texans. They got the number one scoring defense, but you know, and it shouldn't. So it sounds like going against the Ravens team without Lamar Jackson, that should be good for them then. But I think they have to give it to Derrick Henry.
It's not great that Cooper Rush got sacked 5 times.
No,
that's
not good.
That concerns me a great
maybe
deal.
you don't pass the ball even 5 times, and you don't have to worry about him getting sacked.
Sounds like a good way to avoid it.
Derrick Henry, those first 4 weeks for the Texans were not against Derrick Henry. Henry's gone for over 200 against the Texans 4 times in his career. It was 4 times in a row from 2019 to 2022. He averages over 100 yards a game, 5 yards a carry, 5.6 yards per carry, and a touchdown a game against Houston. The Texans' offense is not great, but the Ravens' defense is not great either. I don't know. Something's going to give there. Ravens, because they have to. That's why I'm picking the Ravens as well. So us 3 on the Ravens. John Proctor, KZ, also for the same reason. No one circles the wagons like John Harbaugh, is what KZ said.
Okay.
And Paul Valley is on.
John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And Paul's also on the Ravens? Well, we're effed.
Yeah. KZ and Paul.
We had a good run. All right, very good. That's picks for the week. Jeremy, what else is going on in your world?
Hey, man, I'm still doing all that stuff at pickdogs.com. I do a daily podcast. It's up on YouTube. I'm still running my site. I'm still doing the morning show. So I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day because every day is the same thing of all the different things that I go through for gambling purposes until I'm finally done. And then it's like, all right, where's my edibles? And can I veg out for the rest of the day?
There we go. It sounds pretty good to me. I think I'm going to see Toad the Wet Sprocket tonight, actually.
Well, today's my anniversary, so my wife and I are going to Tercigals tonight.
Where are you going?
Tercigals, one of my favorite restaurants. French restaurant in Ellicott City.
A French restaurant in Ellicott City, Tercigals?
Yeah. If you've never been, it's a tasting menu. They change the menu every week. The place is amazing.
Okay, so they changed with the Milton Inn up by me to a French restaurant, right? And what is your go-to at Tersigals?
Well, so you don't get to pick really. I mean, if there's something you don't like, you see the menu and they bring out a tasting menu.
Okay,
but
got it.
I will tell you this: I fell in love with. I went there with a French class when I was taking French in middle school. And they made crepe Suzette in front of us. And still to this day, any restaurant we go in, if it's a French restaurant, they have it, I order it.
Man. All right.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things. And I guess a go-to for some people would be beef bourguignon or coq au vin, which is chicken in a wine dish. So all those are good. But I think French cuisine is right up there with any other ones. And I love it to go along with Italian.
Yeah, I have never been a French cuisine man, but I'm listening. The way that you say it just sounds sexy enough that I'm. Can you say it? Bourguignon?
Beef bourguignon.
Beef. Now slow it down a little bit for me, please, if you don't mind.
Beef bourguignon.
Oh. All right, we got to go.
It's so tasty.
Jeremy, love you, buddy. We'll make sure it doesn't take 6 weeks before we have you back on again. Thank you.
Great, man. Enjoy your wet sprocket.
Thank you, buddy.
I'll see you.
It's the wettest. The wettest sprockets. Appreciate Jeremy Conn joining us for picks this week. Today's show and of course, the lines come from FanDuel because today's show is also brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. Inside Sports and Social, the best place to watch all of the big games. Every college Saturday, pro Sunday. 100-foot media wall. FanDuel Sportsbook is right there. Great food, drink specials, Live Casino and Hotel, the place to be. When we come back in, we'll get a tidbit. We will get tubular, and we will wind things down for a Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
2025 Navy football single game tickets are on sale now. Don't miss the exciting home game schedule this year. The games feature exciting American Athletic Conference matchups, including the Commander-in-Chief rival Air Force on Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss all of the exciting action in historic Annapolis at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, and get your tickets today at NavySports.com. Go Navy! Beat Army!
Game day gets even better at Live Casino. Score a live jersey on September 6th and bucket hat on September 27th. Plus, catch our big plays, big pays hot seats on select game days. When the home team scores, the prize pool doubles. And we'll give away a $50 sports and social gift card with every touchdown. Take it to the end zone at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bo Smolko profiles Ravens running back Derrick Henry and how the football legend has proven to be a unicorn at the position with the success that he's found after the age of 30. Also inside, Brandon Schwartzberg looks at Kobe Mayo's push to find rhythm at the big league level. And we mark the start of the college football season by meeting players from all 4 FBS and FCS programs throughout the state. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, winding down for a Thursday edition of GCR. Don't forget, Maryland 5-Star. We are just 2 weeks away from the return of the Maryland 5-Star to Fair Hill in Cecil County. And they've got a great event actually coming up this Saturday for you to get your tickets at a discounted price. They're going to be at Fair Hill Saddlery Saturday in Elkton from 12 to 3 p.m. for a very cool event. You can enjoy 10% off all general admission or reserved seat tickets purchased while you're at Fair Hill Saddlery this Saturday from 12 to 3. Plus, they're going to be doing raffle prizes. You can enter for your chance to win Maryland 5-Star prizes and give away items. And you can meet the fluffy eventer and a racing corgi as well. Check out that event this Saturday, 12 to 3 at Fair Hill Saddlery, and go to Maryland 5-Star with the number 5, maryland5star.us for more. The 5th edition of the Maryland 5-Star coming up in 2 weeks at Fair Hill. We didn't, Griffin, you wanted to bring up that the Ravens did make an addition to their practice squad yesterday.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear you say his last name, really.
Sure. Or a not going to work here anymore.
Oh, okay.
Amani Wara. I don't know. I genuinely don't know the answer to that. And thank God that I didn't come up on WBAL last night because I would have felt like an idiot. But yes, the Ravens add in some depth at the cornerback position with Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins presumably out, and I don't know where they are with Chidobe Awuzie, who didn't practice yesterday. So they need and will Jair Alexander be ready to go this week after not playing the last 3 weeks? We'll find out. We will find out.
Hopefully,
yeah.
Right? Is that what we say?
I think it's hopefully. Although if it's the guy that you saw in week 1, is it? Is it? Not sure. Let's get a tidbit brought to you today by the print issue of Press Box. It's still available for the next few days at least at your neighborhood, wherever you find Press Box around town. You can go to PressBoxOnline.com, read it all there. No such thing as curses. Derrick Henry's on the cover. Hopefully he'll have a massive game on Sunday in a win over the Texans, and then you'll be in a different mood at that point when it comes to reading about Derrick Henry. What you got?
The one I missed from Sunday night was from Tony Holtzman Escarino. So there before Sunday night, there had been just 2 quarterbacks with 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions in a tie game. And now both Jordan Love and Dak Prescott double that list.
You serious?
2019, week 1, there was a tie, of course, between the Detroit Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford and whoever they played. And then in 1967 was the first time this happened.
Sure.
Sonny Jurgensen.
It's definitely not Jurgensen. Sonny Jurgensen.
That's what I said.
You said Jurgensen.
Yeah, Jurgensen. No, it's Jurgensen, Glenn.
Go ahead.
Cal Raleigh became the 6th player in MLB history to lead the league, to lead all of Major League Baseball in home runs, and also win the Home Run Derby in the same year. He joins a list including...
Yeah, sure. Sure. You want me to remember who won the home run derby?
All right, fine. I'll give you a hint. The 2019 home run, the 2019, so home run derby winner, of course.
Yeah.
The home run title for this guy.
Alonso.
Yeah, Pete Alonso.
I knew that he won a home run derby. That's the only thing I had there.
He was the 5th to do it. The home run derby, the home run derby, home run title double.
Yes,
and then
it's vaunted.
Well, I mean, it's only happened 6 times.
I understand
2006
that.
before.
I believe
that.
they all get together. Actually,
you get like a jacket or something.
There's going to be a ceremony to recognize Cal Raleigh joining the club.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good club here. I mean, you're going to hear these names that I list off. 2006 was the prior time before Pete Alonso. Who won the home run derby in 2006? It's not that hard. Let's just think about it that way. Who won the home run derby?
Great point. I don't think it was Miguel Tejada.
No,
I think that
he was 05.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Couldn't tell you.
Who? All right, fine. Think about it this way: who led the league in home runs?
In 06. If I had just thought, which league?
All of them.
No, which of the?
He was a national leaguer. Yeah.
06.
Let's see, they won a World Series.
I think it's past Barry.
2 years later.
Past
I think.
Barry Bond. They won a World Series too.
Or was it?
Ryan Howard?
Yeah, Ryan Howard.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Howard was the he did the Derby home run double
right,
there.
Right, the double. Yeah.
Then 2000.
Right. Well, hang on. 2000 was was 2000 Sammy Sosa?
It was. Yes,
yeah,
Sammy Sosa.
I actually remember that one because that was Atlanta, where he was legitimately hitting like
them off.
I mean, like upper deck. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it.
Then 93.
It was in Baltimore, so no, Ken Griffey didn't. Ken Griffey hit the warehouse, but he didn't win. We remember Ken Griffey as the winner because it's like the year that Josh Hamilton, everybody, he won, but it was Morneau, right, that actually won the home run derby. We remember Griffey, but I want to say Juan Gonzalez?
It was Juan Gonzalez with the Tejas Rangers.
Really specific memories.
Led the league in home runs and also won the home run derby. Congratulations to Juan. And then in 1987.
Congratulations to Juan. We've been meaning to send this card out for the last 32 years. We're just getting to it now.
And then in 1987, the first person to christen this list of the Derby home run title double.
87?
Yeah, 87.
I don't even know who would be a good guess for 87. Kirby Puckett.
No, not Kirby Puckett. He was who was he? He was a Chicago
Darryl
Cub.
Strawberry. Oh, a Chicago Cub.
Yeah.
Not Ryan Sandberg. How about Andre Dawson?
Andre Dawson, yes. He won he also won a Gold Glove that year in 1987.
All right.
So, yeah, Andre Dawson. There you go. Well done. You knew that. Andre Dawson, Juan Gonzalez, Sammy Sosa, Ryan Howard, the Pete Alonso, Cal Raleigh Club.
That's exactly.
No one's done it before for that aside those 6 guys. Yeah.
Here's coming up Tubular Wise. It's brought to you by the Stand the Fan Variety Hour. The boys are going to keep talking baseball with you every Monday throughout the playoffs into the World Series. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports is how you watch it live. YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline. PressBoxOnline.com/video to watch it later. As always, Stan Show is brought to you by the Costa Inn and the all-new Costa Inn now open in Timonium. 3 Game 3s. There were no Game 3s last year, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Or was there one? Was it the Cubs? Or not the Cubs,
could have sworn there were
the
no,
Mets and the Brewers.
Because obviously there was no Orioles Game 3. I could have sworn there were no Game 3s.
That might be true. But
anyway.
it's been very rare that there's been even Game 3s, like, period.
Right.
Yeah. So it's weird that we got
3 Game 3s today. Starts at 3:08 on ABC. Tigers Guardians, Jack Flaherty and Slade Ciccone, the pitching matchup there. ESPN for Game 3 between the Padres and Cubs at 5:08. Yu Darvish, Jamison Taillon. And tonight, Red Sox Yankees Game 3 at 8:08. Connolly early.
Yeah, he's been pitching well for
I believe you. And Cam Schlittler, the pitching matchup there. Amazon Prime Video for 49ers Rams tonight at 8:15. Everything else you can find at glennclarkradio.com. Anything non-sports wise?
Not really. Peacemaker, no episode of that on HBO Max.
I haven't watched this season, but I do like Peacemaker.
Season 7 reunion of Real Housewives Miami.
Oh, God, they've been needing to get back together. I bet they'll fight. You think they'll fight?
Maybe. They might. Who knows? Or they'll all be like, wow, that was a good season.
Well, it was fun. We all like each other.
Mark Ruffalo, Chase Infinity, and Addison Rae all on Valentine.
Ah, yes. They are plugging Peacemaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
100%.
weird.
They're just big John Cena fans.
And then Jeremy Allen White
No,
and Bruce Springsteen.
doing
something.
No.
On Kimmel.
No.
What did Jeremy Allen White and Springsteen have in common?
Stop trying to get away with this bit. Stop it. You get one. You got to pick which one you want to do. You don't get to do all of them.
Just Lady Gaga on
No.
Colbert.
Here's what, thanks today to Rob Burnett. Thanks also to Evan Washburn and Jeremy Conn. We'll get it up in the greatest hits section of the
Living Color is also going to be on
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Tomorrow on the program, Stan will be here. The great Iron Eagle is going to join us. He's on the call for Sunday. And Stuff and Things. Stuff and Things.
Yeah.
That's basically, we could rename the show that, I think, at this point. Stuff and Things.
Do you think would that be a good...
Would that be an upgrade?
Like a marketing,
Right.
just in terms of marketing, you think that would help?
I don't know how
Stuff
that
and
would
Things
go
show.
for
The Triple S Stuff and Things show.
Thanks to everybody at Pressbox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, Game Day Men's Health, CountySports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com, as well as the Maryland 5-star Navy Football Knicks Fish House. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Thursday evening. Go nobody. Duke sucks.